it always boggles my mind. I don't know, I say that, but not so much because we know who we're dealing with, Jessica. The owner donors are in full control. And the fossil fuel industry, they own many of the people who occupy the halls of Congress. As a matter of fact, far too many of them they absolutely own. So my stunt double tweeted this out. We have resources for the military budget, though, every time. And not talking about the part of the budget that takes care of our enlisted men and women, our enlisted people. I'm talking about the part of the budget that goes to contractors that are making money off of misery and war making. That's what I'm talking about. And they do this in such a bipartisan way. They do not hesitate to do it. My stunt double further put out, this one is really good. We live in a country where government assistance is running short to help people stay warm. Meanwhile, the House passed a military budget larger than what was asked. These are bipartisan decisions too. The corruption is abhorrent. And that is exactly what it is. I want you to underline it. I want you to bold it. I want to underscore it. I want to put it as a message in a bottle. This is corruption on full display as people suffer during the winter season, and everybody in Congress knows it. Everybody in Congress has somebody in their district that is poor or making low wages, but they do not give a damn. And it's on full display for all of us to see and for all of us to understand. Yes, the corruption is abhorrent. Let's put up this graph that we have used several times on this show because I want you to see and I also want you to hear, because I'm gonna talk about it, that this country spends more on its military than 9 countries combined. Let's underscore that. Let's bold it. Let's put this in a message in a bottle. That is what we are doing. So you have China, you have India, United Kingdom, Russia, France, Germany, Saudi Arabia, Japan, and South Korea. When you combine the defense spending of those 9 countries combined, it comes to a grand total of $777 billion. $777 billion. Bold and underline that. And then when you go to the side of the United States of America, we are at $801 billion that we are spending on the military. Jessica, I don't know about you, but I think we might be in agreement with this statement I'm about to make. I don't want World War III to happen. They should be using that money for other things, especially on the domestic side, but instead they're using this money to enrich defense contractors. Hell, our veterans, some of our veterans are sleeping outside on the streets in this cold weather. They could use that money for that, but oh no. Spending more money than 9 countries combined. Jessica, your thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting. One of my first job as an organizer was trying to persuade members of Congress that people in their district would rather us spend money on foreign aid and collaborating with other nations rather than military spending. And no matter how many people you get together, members of Congress will not listen to you on this front. It was really disheartening work. And it's a huge problem that the United States has been a global power for so long. We have set the stage when it comes to politics on the international level. And we have not invested in any kind of collaborative system for decision making and managing resources or dealing with problems that are much bigger than any one nation alone can address, like climate change. And so with this idea that states should be competing with each other for resources and us using the military to go and exploit labor abroad and extract all of their resources by force, destabilizing them politically, making them assimilate to Western cultures. I mean, for decades and decades, we've continued with the colonial mission as a country. And so this idea of individualism and that we have to compete with other nations, the same individualism we have at home, has put us in this position where now we feel like we still need to use all of the oil we have and also use other countries' oil abroad, because we now control it, even though it's destroying us. So instead of switching paths and realizing it's destroying us and working to collaborate with other nations, now we're just continually investing in the military so that we can keep up with what's going on. Because why? The people who are making a lot of money off of it also control our politics. So all of us are going to live in a world that is unlivable and be fighting for water and resources because a few guys want to stay rich. That's the situation we're in.
That's it, sacrificing everybody. The donors are in full control. And it also, Jessica, encourages other nations as they look, they know too. Like they know what you and I know and what we just shared with our viewers, how much money the United States of America is spending on its on defense. And that makes them amp up too. They say, no, if you guys do it, we can do it too. And so we really lose moral authority in this space in trying to get more countries not to amp up their military. But they look at us and they say, oh yeah, we must do it too. And this fear mongering, just constant fear mongering and war and having the shadow of war over us all the time. It is not healthy. It's not healthy socially, politically, emotionally. It's just not healthy. And so we're having this conversation. We're juxtapositioning the bipartisan love and support for the defense industry to people who are low income, not having what they need to heat their homes because of the rising cost of gas and also inflation and the pandemic. Hello, somebody, which is still looming despite what those senators had to say. Let's put this up. The surge in demand and drop in aid is causing concern throughout state and federal governments. In anticipation, the White House has taken a three-pronged approach this past year, said an administration official. It has urged oil companies to bolster their stockpiles, make funds available to winterize homes, and make more energy and make them more energy efficient, and prepare for further releases from the country's petroleum or heating oil reserve. Jessica, you just called it. So this is the answer. Let's just pump out more oil instead of doing the things that are necessary to decrease our oil dependency. And nothing they said right here, nothing that the administration is saying on this particular issue gives people immediate relief who are cold right now in this moment and who need the help